Hello and welcome to today. Today, what is it? Well, it's the new year, new you countdown in wealth, health, and mindset. So, the new year, new you countdown in health, wealth, and mindset. What do you think causes the vast majority of resolutions from yesteryear to crash, burn, and to become a distant memory by the following springtime, by just about now actually? During the next 4 days, my mission is to help you discover your New Year's resolutions. Can start at any time, not just on the 31st of December, to start on the 1st of January, which is traditional, I suppose. And to prove it, I want to help you put a marker down and create your own new year, which this year can coincide with the new tax year, the 6th of April, that is. Okay, and why am I choosing this? Well, I've been in finance, a financial advisor. I first became a financial advisor in 1988. Wow, all those years ago. And over the coming days, as we approach the 6th of April, I'll be checking in with you to share my knowledge, skills, and wisdom in areas of wealth, health, and mindset. You see, once you appreciate these areas a little bit better, you can get a much clearer picture on how to achieve the goals, dreams, and aspirations you deserve. Then on the 6th of April, right, I want to share with you something special. Now, I'm not sure how it's going to work because 6th of April is a Saturday and it's the day when I've got to go to a big boxing tournament, but I'll figure it out. That can come later. What I do want to do, though, is go through a few things now. So first of all, to let you know that I'm really excited about today. Right? Why? Well, because I get to share with you lots of opportunities that are on. It reminds me of a story I was once told. And it was a guy that I know that was doing a big presentation. And, he had a massive audience. And what he did, he said that, right, who can tell me what fear stands for, the mnemonic fear? Now, you may know that lots of people think that it stands for false evidence appearing real, which is basically the way of saying, well, if you making your life governed by some evidence that might not be true, but it appears true, it appears real, because so many people are telling you, then you might be going down the wrong path because it might well be the wrong information. And I'll go into that a little bit more later. Now, the thing is that he was asking for someone to come up with this answer, when he asked the question, okay, ladies and gentlemen, what does this fear stand for? The word fear, if you put it down into separate letters, what does it stand for? And this really smart looking lady was sitting at the front and she was putting her hand up, me. So after he waited a few seconds longer to see if there were any other takers, because he wanted to bring people in to the actual whole show, and what he did was he pointed to this lady, said, okay, yep, false evidence appearing real. What is that then? And she said, flip everything and run. She didn't actually say flip, actually, but that's what I'd like to say. And there was a deadly silence in the audience. And then there were a few giggles because nobody expected her to say this. And he said, madam, thank you very much for your take on that. That's not quite what I meant, but I'll take that on board and I'll use that, I'm sure, in the future. Now, the thing is that when I'm talking about fear, it governs a lot of people. The clients I work with, I know that we've been through some interesting times with COVID, and I've had some of my clients for over 20 years, in fact, one for 27 years, which indicates that I must be doing a few things right. And during the booms and busts, peaks and troughs, bear markets, bull markets, whatever you want to call it, they phone me up, and they used to phone me up regularly, and we'd have a chat and we'd talk about, investment performance and how they may not get back everything that they invested, and all of that normal sort of stuff. But the ones that have been stuck the journey, stuck in, have done pretty much well, very well, over that period of time. Now, what I also know, being a financial advisor since 1988, is that any economic forecast, whether it be the Bank of England, politicians, governments, or economists, they've never got it right. Never got it right. And I'm going to go through a few things in a second, because today, you can see behind me, it's wealth, health, mindset. Well, today, we're going to be looking at the wealth aspect of how I want to help you. Because as I say, over the next 4 days, I'm going to be leading up to something where then I'm going to share with you a little surprise. So, based on the fact that the economists have never got it right, what I want to do is go through what I think. And you may say, oh, well, Joe, what makes you seem to think that you can get it right? Well, I don't. I'm just giving you my opinion. What I do know, fact, is that yesterday the minimum wage was raised from just over £10 to £11.44, which is around about a 10% increase. Why am I telling you this? Because this might come into play when I talk about inflation and how that's going to work. Now, the good news is price rises are at the lowest, just measured, released, that they've been for more than 2 years. It went down to 1.3% in this year to March. Now, in February, that figure was 2.5%. So that's a massive drop, really. And what this measures is on groceries and non-food items. The better news for shoppers is that it's a time of year where this time last year, right, people were being told by economists that inflation would reach 15%. And I remember being told by a few of my clients that was the case as well. And my personal opinion, which I shared with them, was I'm not sure that's going to happen. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not, because of the way that the Bank of England has been putting interest rates up. And sure enough, just when it got to around about 11%, then it stayed and then it started coming down, because the interest rate rises were quite aggressive globally. And also that prices, in my opinion, will not fall back to pre-pandemic level. Why is that? Well, because we've had several pressures, i.e. wage increases, energy increases, and things that then become baked in. Now, what does baked in mean? Well, you'll hear this by many economists talking about the inflation or the price rises being baked in. And what that means is it's the new base level, right? So once it's been set for so long, it's highly unlikely that it'll go back to where it was. And the fact is that with wage inflation as well, that's gone up, and that's putting more money in the economy to be able to afford these increases. Now, we've also got, here's a term that I was interested in, fossil inflation. And this relates to the fuel inflation and how that's bedded in as well. And there's all sorts of other inflation terms as well. Effectively, what it means is that once it's set in for a period of time, a long period of time, then that will be its new level. Now, one of the other things that we've got to think about as well is, since we've left Europe, we've now got the new border checks that are coming in, which will impact on import prices. And retailers are keen to keep prices low. There's only so much they can afford for so long. And for you chocolate lovers, if you're a chocolate lover, then at the minute you may not see massive price rises in the chocolate, because the manufacturers of chocolates buy ahead. They fix the prices for probably 6 to 12 months ahead. So what's happening now is the guys who are producing the cocoa and the chocolate, because they've had a bad crop recently, which means that the supply of the cocoa has decreased, and they're still being paid the old price. Now, this will put pressure under them. What that means for the future is probably the big date that will tell is around about July, when the next crop comes in, and that will give an indication of chocolate prices. But if you do like your chocolate, you might want to buy some now, because in the future, I do believe that it's going to increase significantly. I heard the figure banded around that for a unit of chocolate that they buy in, it was, say, £2,000. It's gone up to £7,000 for a unit. So that's quite a big increase. On the good side, though, with the way that all the prices have come down, then I do believe that inflation will return to its 2% level towards the end of this year, which means that the pressure on the Bank of England to keep the interest rate high will also reduce. And I think that we can look forward to interest rates reducing. That's the borrowing rate, the Bank of England base rate will reduce, which means that mortgages will reduce, whether that be commercial or residential, which then takes the pressure off. So hopefully the feel-good factor, and now that the nights are getting longer and the summer's here, hopefully we will get back into feeling good. So that's my take on the wealth situation at the minute. What I'd also like to share with you is that because I want to help 1 million veterans and business owners collaborate so they can achieve the dreams, goals and aspirations they deserve, I've brought together something in joeteams.com. And what is joeteams.com? Well, it's a site, it's a membership site where you can go, and there's free resources on there, which I just add to. And very soon I'm going to be adding some information all about financial strategies. There's stuff that we should have been taught at school, actually, but we never taught at school that sort of stuff, the important things that you're going to use on a daily basis. Of course, base education is good. We need that. We also should be taught about financial matters. Even I left school without really knowing how to fill in a check. Mind you, there's not checks anymore, really, and it's all done by card or digitally now. But wouldn't it be good to learn about that sort of stuff when you're at school? So I'm introducing stuff on the joeteams.com, which will be free to access. The other thing there's some resources where you pay just over the price of a cup of coffee per month to get access to that. But we'll talk about that at a later date. What I want to do for you now is I want you to recognize the strategies that you use when you're thinking about money. So when you think about money, whether you've got too much or too little or just enough, what goes into your mind when I mention the term money? What goes into your mind when I mention the term finances? What is that bringing up for you? Does it make you happy? Does it make you sad? Does it make you indifferent? Or does it make you think, what you're asking me this question for, Joe? Well, the reason I'm asking you the question is because I want you to understand the relationship you have with money, because that's important. And the other thing we're going to be looking at over the next few days is your relationship with health, how good you think your health is. And we're going to be looking at also your relationship with motivation, or mindset, as I call it. What motivates you to get up in the morning? What motivates you to get healthy? Do you like going to the gym? Is going to the gym the last thing on your mind? What sort of food do you eat? So over the next coming days, and then once per week, I'll be checking in, because as I say, I want to help 1 million people. And to do that, the best way to do it is through this, for instance. And the launch is really important to me about how I can help you. So On the basis that economists haven't got it right since 1988, and looking at how I want to help, then let's just say that since 1988, my sole aim has been to discover how to get more wisdom, skills, and experience. So I'm in a position today where I can help you. Because on my side of my eyes, I feel 26, right? On your side of my eyes, you can see I'm a little bit older. So I just want to close with saying that if successful you want to become, visit joeteams.com. And until we meet again tomorrow, then have a brilliant day and thank you. And I've not been able to answer the comments now, by the way, but what I will do is if you leave your comments in the comment section, I will certainly get back to you, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you have, and I'll touch base with you tomorrow. And until then, as I said before, have a brilliant day.